Hello and welcome to Popcorn and Joysticks, the new podcast from JHT. You may be wondering what JHT is. That is J for James, H for Hollie, and T for Theo. On this podcast, we are going to be talking about all the things that we are currently playing and what we're excited for in the world of games, movies, and entertainment in general.
Pretty much anything in between all of that. It's basically three people sitting around a table, very small table. If you're watching it on YouTube, very small table, chatting about whatever we've been up to. Exactly. Because we do that anyway, so we thought, why not hit record
and share it.
And see what comes out. And hopefully, at least one person might find it interesting, and we might have one listener.
Might be like our mums or something.
I guarantee my mum's probably listening right now.
Hi, Mum.
Yeah. And at the very least, we're getting to share with each other what we've actually been up to. So it's kind of like, it's actually a really sly way of us just having a catch up.
Exactly,
and,
yeah. It's a good excuse to make sure we catch up regularly.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, of course, we're going to try and do this weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it will be on YouTube as a video podcast and also on podcast apps.
So you get to see our little faces and you get to hear.
Or if you don't want to look at us, you can
us.
just have us talking to you very softly and sweetly into your ears.
Ooh, this could be an ASMR podcast. Hello and welcome.
I mean,
this changed quickly.
I was going to say that's probably a good point to point out that this podcast and this space that we're in is going to be changing and developing over the coming weeks and months. So it's going to sound better in the future, and hopefully it will look better as well. And hopefully we will be better in the future as well, because this is obviously the very first one that we're doing. Well, actually saying that, we used to do a podcast about 2.5, 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it was a few years ago.
Before me and Hollie bought this house, which we're in right now, me, Hollie and Theo, we used to do a podcast in the flat. A very similar format where we spoke about things that we've been up to, like TV shows we've been watching, films we've been watching, and computer games that we've actually been playing. So we thought, why not kind of regurgitate
now we're allowed to see each other again.
I think now that, one, we can see each other again.
We're allowed.
But also in the world that we live in right now, where everything is rebooted, everything that is new is actually just old. You know, everything.
We're all the rage right now. So
yeah. We're coming back in.
It's a remake.
The remake.
Remaster. Hopefully it's a remaster of what we were doing.
Yeah, we made it better.
We've made it better.
Yeah.
But there's no paywall behind it. It's not like you have to pay $10 to get. Like,
we did do that then. We're not doing it now.
Yeah. We can't do that now. We haven't.
But I was going to say, actually, we have decided on the Popcorn and I've got it wrong. The Popcorn and Joystick Podcast.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But we have probably come up with about 500 different names and titles. I don't think it really matters.
You rounded it down a bit.
Yeah. I don't really think it matters what it's called, but obviously Popcorn and Joysticks is,
It kind of sums up what we're about.
It sums up what our main interests are.
Yes, exactly.
I think.
So if you're not into popcorn or joysticks, then...
Or things that you can do while eating popcorn or playing with joysticks.
Oh my.
Indeed. It is going to be one of those podcasts. But actually, the big thing that we've all been playing this week is...
It's a big week.
It has been a big week. Is Horizon Forbidden West. We've not been brave enough to jump into Elden Ring just yet.
No, we haven't.
But we've all been playing Horizon Forbidden West. I think did we all finish the first one?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. With the first one, we started playing it when it first came out. Then I don't know what happened, but we stopped playing it and we went back to it maybe a year later.
Yeah.
But this is obviously going back a few years ago now. And absolutely sort of loved the first one.
Yes.
So when the announcement obviously came out that there was going to be a second one, going to be on the next-gen consoles, that was going to be huge because obviously the first one was incredible, but there was a few, in my opinion, there was a few flaws with that one, or there's a few kind of quirky graphical issues, which I do feel like with this new one have basically been resolved now because it looks gorgeous.
It is stunning, this game. It needs to be. I don't think trailers, and especially when you stream trailers from the internet, you don't get the full impact of them.
Yeah. But it's until you're controlling the character. A trailer, you're obviously just watching a camera zooming through the gaming world. But when you're in control of that character, interacting with the environment and the world is far better than just watching the trailer happening or whatever. So now we've got our hands on it and been able to actually play it.
Yes. It makes such a difference.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've been loving it. We're not really going to be talking too much about spoilers within this.
I don't think we're going to go into maybe very, very early game.
Yeah, because
stuff that we've done, but we're not going to hit story beats in particular.
No, because we've only played maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Most of them was me running around doing side quests.
collecting berries. And there's a lot of
collecting.
There's a lot of collecting and then quite a few side quests already.
I think that there needs to be, I don't know if it be DLC or someone needs to basically create a Hoover robot.
That's what we need. Yeah. We need like the prehistoric robot dinosaur.
Well, I mean,
proximity
we've got
Hoover, please.
Roomba is what you need.
Because there is a lot of collecting. There's a lot of time picking things up.
I think so far it's my only niggle. With the game that I'm absolutely loving the game. I played the first one to death, like played all the DLC and everything. Really enjoying being back with Aloy and being in that world. And I think that the tribe stuff's really interesting. The sci-fi stuff is a lot of sci-fi stuff I don't get into.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm really into this one. I just want to find like the mysteries are really good. The only thing that takes me out of it is if you have a gigantic, exciting battle.
You gotta go pick
and then I'm essentially doing the housework afterwards. You know, I'm having to go around and clean up after the kids that have made a mess.
I don't know if you could do it on the last one, but you can pick up whilst you're riding a machine now. I don't remember that from the previous one.
I think you have to jump off.
Yeah, and I remember that being really tedious, and I'm just thinking, I'm not going to bother collecting any health. And then when I got into the next battle, I'd be like, why did I not just get off that machine and collect health? Or at least now you can scoop it up on the way by.
I like that there's been some evolution there for Aloy, where it feels like she can now do these things that should be possible, and I think the animation on it is wonderful, and it doesn't take you out of it. It's very smooth, and it shows you know, I'm now picking this stuff up off the floor, which I think when she's genuinely getting a rock off the floor and she's on top of a mount that's like 6 feet tall, it's like she's got really long arms now. But I think those little quality of life improvements, like some of the traversal as well, which I think we, maybe a little bit hit and miss in some places, and I think a lot of people may have been thinking, because it came out so close to Breath of the Wild, are we now going to have a game where you can literally climb on everything? You can still, tap R3 and get the highlighted edges to see exactly where you can climb.
That is majorly helpful, because that can guide where you're running, especially if there's like a huge mountain you're trying to climb up.
It is helpful, but I find I'm just lazy. Like in some games, you would be like, right, okay, I need to look for it. Whereas now you can just press R3 and just tell me. So sometimes I do feel a bit lazy, like I'm not searching for things.
But in like most games, you will have like, this bit of rock is got white paint on it,
it's yellow, isn't it?
Helps you obviously traverse the landscape. Where I feel like there's less of that in Horizon.
Yes.
There's the big yellow kind of
rocks or whatever.
The rope.
You do get those bits of yellow
you do see
punctuate
but the actual rock which you're climbing doesn't always have that. So sometimes it can be confusing of where you can and can't climb, because you cannot climb everything. There's only certain things you can and can't climb. It's not like, I'm just going to go onto like the white edge or the yellow edge of other games. That having the focus to be able to see the highlighted areas definitely helps with that, because you can't just scramble up any old rock, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely. And that rock looks fantastic. And the world that I'm maybe a little bit further in. I think I've played about 10 hours since it came out.
It was only out this morning.
It's been a long morning.
Hollie's got Theo's got Bernard's watch, and he can pause time.
That's it.
Computer games.
I mean, if I had Bernard's watch, would I be doing that? Probably. That is probably, people would be like, you could use this power for good. No,
I'm just going to play all of the games.
But that landscape that they've created, this world that they've created, is absolutely gorgeous, and they've now made improvements in ways that you can get around it. What I'm also intrigued to see more of is some of the extra robots that they've created, the antagonists, the creatures that we're coming up against. It's nice to see some of the returning favourites, like the Thunderjaw, which was like the big T-Rex styled robot that had cannons on it.
Redesigned them now.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a nip and tuck here and there.
I did watch. I can't remember whose video it was, but I did watch a comparison of what they look like in the first and now the second one.
Okay.
And basically zooming in and seeing the different machine parts. Yes. So in the first one, they might have had carbon fibre. In this one, they've, I don't know, gone for steel or something, which is...
Which is cheaper, but heavier.
Yeah. Not as efficient.
No.
But they hurt more when they run into you.
Yeah, that's
they definitely do hurt more, because I've fought one Thunderjaw so far.
Okay.
Going into it thinking, I used to take these things on for just the pastime.
Just for giggles.
Horizon Zero Dawn, and now fighting that first one. Maybe I'm under-leveled, maybe it's just like scaling up, it's in the West, Aloy's a bit out of practice, I'm out of practice, sort of thing. But yeah, it was a tough fight.
I did find that, like, because we got obviously quite good. You played the whole game on the last one. We were pretty good at taking down machines.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, I know what we're doing in this. Started it and oh my God. Like, I was just so bad. It's like, I've just got to roll out the way of everything while I try and work out how to use all the controls again. So I did go into it thinking, I've got this. And oh, hell, I did not.
The hubris that we're all entering this fight with is all just... I wonder if everyone's experiencing that, or whether it's just something that is like... We're in our, like... We're still early 30s, but we're in our, like... Early
20s.
Mid.
Definitely not.
But whether that's something that is actually just like...
Do you mean our reaction times are...
I think our reaction times are slowing down, definitely. Yeah. It's nice to see that there's no... In terms of accessibility, it's nice to see that they've actually not put anything behind a difficulty wall. I think the last sort of big profile game that did this was The Last of Us Part 2, where if you wanted to get the platinum in the first game, you had to beat it on, I think it was either hard or grounded mode, you would get a trophy for that. And for Forbidden West, there's none of that. And it was the same with The Last of Us Part 2, and sort of it was reported that people who who had really severe sort of ailments or difficulties in playing games were actually able to platinum The Last of Us Part 2 and experience all of the content. And I think that's brilliant.
That is good. Like, we watched The Last of Us. We didn't play The Last of Us, mainly because I am terrible at stealth games. But that's really interesting to know, because I play games on easy normally. We are playing this on normal, and I regretted that almost instantly, but we're sticking with it. But I have I normally play things on normal. Easy, but we are doing this. I like
a little bit of a challenge. I don't like it too hard where you're dying and getting battered around left, right, and centre and can't progress in the story.
Yeah.
Because I like to play games because I find them enjoying.
Yeah.
I find them enjoying?
You find them enjoying. You find them enjoying what?
Yeah, I think I play games mainly for the story. I like a challenge, but I'm no good at games where they're really difficult. I rage quit too easy.
with the Last of Us Part 2 it came out whilst we were mid renovating our house.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a space to play games, to hook a PlayStation up and spend hours and hours and hours playing that game.
They were packed away.
We managed to find a really, really good YouTube channel which based the whole gameplay.
Yeah.
So it made it feel like we were playing it on, like, we were experts at it because they were incredible.
They were so good.
We would be so bad at that game. So again, it was almost like we were playing it on easy mode, watching someone else play it, and that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good that Horizon have now done the same, because I did notice that there was like an easy and then a story. So if you didn't want any difficulty, and I thought that was really good. So if you recommend it to someone who doesn't really play games, like they can actually play. Because some people don't have the dexterity to actually play the games.
And especially when the story is so interesting and in depth.
Yeah.
With, really nice character developments and stuff. People who aren't huge gamers can experience that. So it's not just a disability thing. It's also just a time thing. If people don't want to be putting and grafting away, and they can just stick to the story, they can still experience it, but at the same time, if you want to put it on hard and graft away and
definitely.
You can. So to be able to have that, so for instance, like your mum,
she likes to play games, but she's not an active gamer. She likes turn-based games.
Yeah.
So if she wanted to play it, she could, because
we did recommend it to her because of the story and because you can reduce the level down a little bit and just enjoy it for what it is rather than
the combat and the trials.
Yeah.
So what did you start the game on? What level?
I started on normal.
Yeah.
Because it's just coming down to time now.
Yeah.
I don't have as much time as I did in 2017. So I played the original Horizon Zero Dawn on ultra hard.
I was going to say, you were an ultra hard kind of person, aren't you?
And I think I played through it twice.
Okay.
So I think I played through it originally on hard and then ultra hard
Gosh.
and did all the DLC on ultra hard because I'm that guy. I'm now playing on normal. I tweaked it down to easy at one point just to see what it was like
bad.
because purely because of time considerations.
No, that's fine. I'm just thinking, if you have to do it on easy, we've got no hope. On normal, that's my worry.
Well, that's where the story mode is. That's why
Exactly.
that's
We
there.
should probably point out that Theo, how many platinums do you have?
It's 116, I think, at the moment. Maybe 117.
Platinums.
Platinum.
How many do we have, Holly?
I have nearly got one. I very nearly have Cat Quest.
Oh my god, amazing. That's not one I have. I don't have that.
Well, I haven't got it yet,
hard.
but I'm nearly there.
I have 0.
No. We don't do trophy or achievement hunting.
We play games. We're like, I don't know. We like to play games because we like to enjoy them and experience them. Where
I don't do that.
Theo
I don't like
hates
to enjoy
games.
or experience them. It's work
He
for
puts
me.
He puts
grind.
Yeah.
He puts the hours in and he trudges through and.
I think more than anything, it's about, for me personally, getting value for money from my games, and I won't platinum a game that is just like shovelware. For I'm not going to name names because they're hardworking developers who make shovelware, so I don't want to like slap sort of put any shade on anybody. BM people. I will 100% a game that I feel like I'm really enjoying it. And if I stop enjoying it, then I stop going for that grind.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because I would say that I am like that, but I have never got to that point in a game where I can actually complete. Like Final Fantasy VII, best game ever. Have I got anywhere near all the trophies? No, because like that stupid box hitting thing on the remake, I think I did it about twice, and I'm like, I'm not even playing that. It's my favourite game ever, but I am not doing that challenge.
And you have to beat that game on hard to get the platinum. So,
which I am doing it on hard. But that box game can go to hell, in my opinion.
I mean, when it comes to hard games, it's hard for me not to think about Cuphead. One other thing that I've been enjoying a lot this week has been the Cuphead Show. So I guess firstly, my question to both of you is: have you played the Cuphead game?
No, because I get too angry at games like that. Like I said, I just rage quit. I'm like, I'm not playing that. That's not good for my blood pressure. I'm gonna leave it. I don't know if it's patience, like lack of patience, or whether I'm just deeply a really angry person. Like, I'm not sure what it is.
Deeply angry person.
Like,
I don't think it's that.
I'd rather not.
It's basically like how many controllers do you want to buy?
Yeah.
Because they will get snapped.
Yeah. I mean, I've finished it with one controller.
Nice.
I
You
think.
definitely
Certainly not in one setting though. I mean, one boss alone would take me a very long time and lots of attempts. But if you didn't know what Cuphead is, basically Cuphead is
anger in a game.
It's anger in a game.
Yeah.
it's really like the first thing that stands out about Cuphead is that art style where it's like a 1930s, 1940s animation style, like classic. If you've ever seen the skeleton dance, it's basically that almost rotoscope style of animation.
I like the aesthetic of it.
But the gameplay is not quite for you.
I just know that the gameplay is not for me.
Yes.
But again, like we're saying with Last of Us, it would be a game that I would watch, which obviously is going to probably lead you onto your
You're in luck.
Yeah. Because again, we've not watched it, but I know you have.
So the Cuphead Show. So basically, a little bit of background on Cuphead. Two little cup humanoid, or they're basically there's Cuphead and Mugman, and if you imagine like Mickey Mouse, sort of like black overalls but with like red and blue shorts, and then each one of them has like a cup and a mug for a head, and
Genius.
it's the game is a run and gun shooter bullet hell style game with incredible bosses, really amazing animation, and it is just wonderful. Please go play Cuphead. The game basically takes the premise of Cuphead, which is Cuphead and Mugman are effectively against the devil, as in like the literal devil, who is trying to take souls from the people of Inkwell Isle, which is where they live. Okay. The show has condensed this game down into 12, about 14-minute long episodes. It doesn't follow like a serial. There's a couple of episodes that do tie in together across the course of the series. But you get to see all these really wonderful characters and this really nice animation. I will hasten to add that it's not the same animation, exactly the same animation style as you would have seen in the game.
Right, okay.
But it is, if you've ever been a fan of things like Animaniacs, and like Looney Tunes and things like this, it's become something that we've been watching every day. It's just like a little 14 to 15 minutes, about a 15-minute like break from reality, and we can go and enjoy this fantastic voice acting. The devil in particular, I think is my favorite, and he is very sort of lanky and gangly in the way that he moves, and he's got a lot of style about him, but at the same time he's the devil. And an episode that I watched yesterday featured one of my favourite characters from the game, which was King Dice, who is like a game show presenter in like a blue, like a purple suit, but he has a dice for a head and like this little like pin mustache. Oh my god, it is so good. It's available on Netflix. It's produced by MDHR and David Wasson.
Okay.
And yes, 12 episodes. The devil's in it. Cuphead's amazing.
We'll definitely have to check it out.
You need to check it out, I think, because if you're a fan of the animation and the look of the game, but you don't want to play the game, or you can't play the game for whatever reason.
Too angry.
If you're too angry to play the game, then definitely go and watch this, and hopefully it won't make you as angry.
Is it from the same creators as the actual game, or have they licensed it out? Or
so the I need to check my notes there. So the Moldenhauer brothers, so Chad and Jared, are involved in creating it. So I think it has kind of come directly from the studio as well. Okay. It's also going to be, I think, a bit of a precursor to the upcoming DLC, which is going to feature Lady Chalice. I think that's her name. Which I'm still looking forward to, because that game's been out for a few years now, and it's regularly on sale. So go and buy Cuphead. Go and play Cuphead. It's really good. But so that's one thing
really
that I've been watching this week. That I think that
what's your kind of, I guess, quick kind of overlook of games which are being turned into TV or films? Because obviously there's a lot of game stuff coming out into TV and film format now. And another thing I know that you have watched this week as well is the Uncharted movie.
I have been to the cinema and I watched the Uncharted movie.
Oh, we haven't seen it yet.
Which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
I had such a good time.
I was very scared when the trailers, I was thinking, you can't tell if it's going to be good or not, in my opinion, from the trailers.
I was very surprised when you messaged me and said, in your words, it was bloody brilliant.
It was bloody brilliant. And I stand by that review.
That was
in-depth,
2 words is all needed. Bloody brilliant. I was very surprised to receive a message from you to say that. I was expecting not that review. I was expecting not brilliant. I was expecting a different word, a negative word.
Oh, okay.
The main
in my
reason
opinion,
is,
Theo is the critical one out of us trio.
I can be, but I think the thing is that expectation versus reality is what plays into a lot of this when it comes to movie reviews, right? And particularly when it comes to games turned into movies or vice versa. So what I would say is that go into it with just an entirely open mind, and if I went to go and see it on a Sunday afternoon, we had a spare. Oh, actually, it's something that I do need to bring up is that I bought the upgrade for Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy.
Oh, okay.
So the PS5 upgrade, which was £10. I already owned both of those games, so it was a no-brainer for me that I love them. So I want to experience them again on the PS5. So in doing that upgrade, I got a free cinema ticket.
Oh, no
no way.
way.
to go and see the film. So effectively, it was at a £10 event. Like, it's a limited time thing, so I don't know if it's still happening or not.
We should have done
Didn't
that.
hear about that.
But I bought the upgrade and got a code for a cinema ticket, and then effectively 2 of us going to the cinema for the price of 1. So it was a no-brainer.
definitely.
And obviously love Uncharted. Really big fan of Tom Holland as well because of his work in Spider-Man. I think he's fantastic. But yeah, went into it with an entirely open mind of like, it doesn't have to be Uncharted 5. You know, it doesn't have to exactly
that's
follow.
key.
So the film is a prequel to the games. Is that right?
Yes. So we've seen some of this before we've definitely seen some of this before in flashbacks in Uncharted 2, 3 and 4. We've had some flashbacks. It takes a lot of the groundwork that the games have produced. So you've got the same characters, but they might be slightly different to what you've seen in the games.
Yeah.
The story has been tweaked a little bit to fit within the movie space. But in terms of what it is an action-adventure film along similar lines of Indiana Jones. And there's even some great Indiana Jones references in there, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And yeah, I think that's where some of the negativity comes from, is people have seen the trailer and they've gone, that's not my Uncharted. That's not the Uncharted I wanted to see.
I think that's the thing with adaptations, though, is they aren't going to be exactly that, because
It's someone else's
it's
vision,
something
isn't
different.
it?
It's the same with books to TV shows.
Yeah,
or
some
something.
people who are really invested in the original media are going to be disappointed because it doesn't fit what you perceive as it. Yeah.
If it was a beat-for-beat recreation of one of the films, why would I want to see it?
One of the games.
Sorry, one of the games. Why would I want to see it? Because
you
You've
played
played
40
it.
hours in that
I've
world.
played it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's stuff that is in here that, I mean, you can see the trailers, and there is like the first trailer that came out had the plane sequence with all the cargo boxes being
Where they
like,
defeat gravity and defeat physics.
He definitely does defeat. It's Spider-Man. This is the thing. Is there was genuinely a groan in the audience when that happened.
Oh,
so
really?
if you haven't seen the trailer, it's basically where he's like climbing up the cargo that is hanging out the back of a plane.
Going 350 miles an hour or whatever it is.
And
I mean, anyone could do that.
He can jump faster than the...
that means he's jumping at like 500 miles
He's
an hour.
effectively jumping 500 miles an hour, right? It's Tom Holland. He can do it once. So that's why they picked him for Spider-Man. It's not because he's a good actor. It's because he can jump so
He's
fast.
actually a grasshopper.
Actually
He's
a superhero.
Actually a spider. But it's a blockbuster movie.
Is it a popcorn film?
It is definitely a popcorn film. In the cinema, I didn't have any popcorn in the cinema, but when I watched
we have a podcast called Popcorn and Joysticks, and you didn't have any popcorn with
He
you.
also didn't take my joystick with me.
And that's the annoying thing. We don't have any popcorn or joysticks with us right now.
Next time, we will sort that out.
Next time.
Next time.
But yeah, I think for a Sunday afternoon movie, it was a really great experience. I had a lovely time. I really enjoyed. I laughed a lot through it. Like,
And that's what you want with Uncharted. Some of it is lighthearted.
I mean, people who go, Nathan Drake is a serial killer. It's like, he kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who are bad, you know, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as Fred and Rose West.
Well, yeah. A little
I
different.
think one thing which I thought about that film particularly is I think it was over advertised. It was like on YouTube, for instance, every trailer was or every advert on before a YouTube video was Uncharted all the time. And to me, that was sort of screaming, the film's not good. So we'll just throw so much money at the advertisement and promotion to get people to the cinema because it's not good. So when you then came out and said it was really good, I was like, oh, well, maybe my idea of it was because I was kind of fed so much of the advertisement. I just took this. Yeah, I took the step back of, well, I don't particularly want to watch it now.
Yeah.
I love the games. I love the world of the games, but I just thought I don't want it just to be a cheap adaptation of that game.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not. And I think we also need to shout out the fact that it has had a really troubled development, this film. It's been in development for over 10 years. And
I didn't know that.
Funnily enough, Mark Wahlberg, who plays Sully in the film, was originally going to play Drake.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that.
He's been attached to that project for a very long time, and they've had lots of different. They've had lots of different directors come and go, and it's.
He could be making this up. We don't actually know.
I was going to say, that could be something you do is just like drop in a blatant lie and see if we just scoop it.
I don't like lies. If I'm watching a sitcom, like we've watched Friends recently, like just very small tangent here. We watched Friends recently.
Yeah.
They always get into these mad escapades because someone has just made a little lie. I'm like, stop lying.
Okay, we won't do that. Learn your lesson.
To the best of my knowledge, this is factually true, and I've read it on the internet, so it must be.
It must be true if you read it there.
Brenda on Facebook said it.
Yeah. My mate works at Sony Pictures. Yeah, but I definitely want to I definitely want to sort of highlight 2 other actors in it. So Sophia Ali and Tati Gabrielle, who played Chloe Fraser and Braddock, who is a new character for the film, respectively. They are fantastic, and they're really fun additions to this film. One other person we haven't mentioned is Antonio Banderas, who is in this film, who plays the sort of primary antagonist. It's a really lovely film. I highly recommend people just check it out. And I think to your original question was, how do I feel about these adaptations?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited. I think we're in a point now where we've got to, where we're not getting terrible adaptations of games to movies. We've obviously got some more stuff coming up on this in the future. The Bioshock film for Netflix. Halo TV series is going to be later this year.
Is that end of March?
Is
like
it?
in a month.
Oh,
Pretty sure it's literally in a month's time.
Wow.
Which
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty damn excited about.
Yeah.
Because I love Halo. But after the trailer came out and not having like actual Master Chief's voice and Katana looking slightly different.
Different in your expectations of what Master Chief should sound like.
And Katana looks like.
And I think that's the thing, when you're so like invested in something, like you love Halo, like you have that like thing of like, don't ruin it for me.
It's the nostalgia thing, because Halo was the reason why I bought the original Xbox. So that's 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Is it 20 years? Yeah, about
20,
20 years ago. Is because of Halo. So 2/3 of my life has been because of that game, and it's been a part of me. So I've grown up with that, and now it's going to be a TV adaptation.
Yeah.
And it's slightly different. Is that going to be jarring? Is that going to take me out of the world? I still think it's going to be incredible. I hope it is. Wishful thinking. But again, it's not been over advertised. We've had that one trailer basically come out, and that's it. Yes, they probably will be ramping up soon. But at the same time, I hope they don't, which I feel like they did with Uncharted, is over advertise it, which put people like me off a little bit. I will go back and I will watch Uncharted now, but I feel like with the Halo TV show I don't want it to be too much given away, and too much of the mystery which is going to be in that TV show to be kind of drip fed over the next coming weeks and months, and then when you watch it, you kind of just like any comedy film ever has the 10 best comedy lines in it, and you watch a film and it's disappointing because you've already had the laugh in the trailer, but then they're not funny because you've seen the trailer 50 times in a month because it's everywhere.
I mean, I will say that the climax of Uncharted is in one of the trailers, so if you are planning to watch it, don't watch, I guess, like the latest trailer. Or like,
I do find that if it's something I'm really into, like I'll try and avoid the trailers like as much as possible, just so you kind of go in blind.
Yeah, we hide for films which I know I really want to watch, or even games.
I was going to say games as well. I just try and Square Enix is notoriously bad, and I'm a huge Square Enix fan, but when they put trailers out, they basically just show you the whole game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially when Final Fantasy Remake came out, I was just like, I just had to put a block on everything. Like, I watched the first one because I was so hyped, and then I was like, that's enough. Like, I don't want to see everything. Yeah. And especially with all the other games coming out, it's like, well, I don't want to see it. If I'm going to play the game, I don't want to see it before I played it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be part. It's on the Big Bang Theory about pre-blowing people's minds.
Yeah, your mind's pre-blown.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's that exact thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm known to run out of the cinema when an MCU trailer comes on.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
have done that for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
We did that, I think, with The Matrix. We didn't
so
want to
excited.
You ran out of The Matrix?
No,
That makes sense.
when the new one was coming out, we went to see another film. I can't.
think it
Was
was
it when we
June.
see June? A Matrix trailer came on, and I was like, I just want a complete blackout so I can go in blind. And I was literally sat there like talking to myself with my hands over my ears, and I think other people in the cinema must have been like, "What is she doing?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I will happily just like block out everything so you can go in blind to certain things.
Because I don't want to have those preconceived ideas and preconceived like opinions about something.
Yeah.
Because you've been drip fed it and
yeah.
seen it everywhere. Because then you're like, oh, that
I want
guy
the
looks
impact.
weird in it, or that character doesn't
Yeah.
represent the person who I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So you can go in and have your mind pre-blown
Yeah.
and be disappointed, but actually it could still be really amazing and really good.
Yeah.
So we've kind of moved on to talking about trailers, which I guess are things that we're more looking forward to.
Yeah.
Right. So there's been a few great trailers out recently, which we've been saying, we've been trying to avoid them.
Yeah.
Definitely need to give props to that Jurassic World Dominion trailer, because I mean, it's dinosaurs in Europe. Like, yeah, I want to see that. That's fine. Give me that. And thinking about things that are bloody brilliant, something that I think might be bloody and brilliant is potentially Studio 666.
Okay.
You seen this? Have you heard about this?
No.
So you may see and hear about this because it is the Foo Fighters film.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
sorry, yes.
That's the noise.
Yes. That was
I,
lost on me for a minute there. Yes.
I thought you were actually on about a new studio,
Yeah.
game studio, bringing something out. But yes, I've seen
Sticking
the
with
trailer.
the world of film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've seen the trailer of that, and I even went and showed you because I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, what's not to love?
When's
It's Foo
that
Fighters,
out?
it's Dave Grohl.
So that
it
is
should be out now.
is that now?
Yeah, it was February, wasn't it? It was out.
I don't know where February's gone, to be honest with you.
So yeah, for anyone who's unfamiliar with this, because it's had the opposite treatment to Uncharted, I guess, where it's had a trailer, maybe two,
Yeah.
and then it's not had a huge push. I
yeah.
mean, it's clearly a smaller budget thing.
Yeah.
Basically, the premise is that the Foo Fighters have made a film, okay, and what that film is a classic horror comedy.
That's
Okay.
it, yes.
So, little bit of fun trivia: the house that the film is shot in used to be Dave Grohl's house that he lived in about 10 years ago.
No way.
Okay.
Amazing.
And the chap who owned the house was trying to sell it, and Dave Grohl, working on the new Foo Fighters album, said, I don't want to buy it, but can I rent it for a bit while I work on the new album? So Dave and the boys working on the new Foo Fighters album. All of it
That's
just kind of
incredible.
snowballs, and they end up saying, okay, we want to make a film. And so they've made this film, and the concept is that they're struggling to create something new. In the trailer,
Yeah.
you see Dave Grohl, and he says, I've got that new sound, and he plays the opening bars to Everlong.
Yeah.
And the rest of the Foo Fighters are like, okay, that is just Everlong. You wrote that like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I
Still an
remember now.
incredible song, I should.
Still an
Definitely.
incredible song.
And so through a bit of demonic possession, Dave Grohl finds the new sound that
Yeah, the
he's
new voice
looking
or-
for, but in doing so, starts offing other members of the Foo Fighters. So in quite what I understand to be bloody and hilarious
Yes.
ways. So yeah, that's coming out soon. So that's
Definitely need to watch that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
when I saw that come out, I was thinking like it almost to me seemed like it was just going to be a long form music video.
yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, they've got a new song out and it's going to be, like a 15-minute music video incorporating the song. Then it carried on. I was thinking, that's quite a lot of effort for a music video. Then obviously it turned out that it is going to be a film. And I have seen that he's doing his rounds at the moment of interviews on podcasts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's supposedly quite a brief film. We're in
Yeah.
that sweet spot of, because I do like a quick film as well. So an hour and a half,
Yeah.
2 hours
The
is
90-minute
perfect.
mark.
The 90-minute movie is perfect. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Certainly for if you just want to have a bowl of popcorn and enjoy yourself on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, we've got that one coming out, and then I guess going back to games, and I know you're going to like this one, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga
Yeah.
has
Oh,
received
amazing.
a new trailer which reveals a lot more of what we can expect coming from the game. And I guess we're already kind of aware that Lego Star Wars has been turned into games before,
Yeah.
and we've had 2 previous collections plus a standalone Lego Star Wars 3. But this time, it's bringing everything together from the 9 core films of the Star Wars Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
You can play these games in any order, and the gameplay improvements seem vast across the board, basically. Okay. So we've got proper third-person cover and gunplay. We've got really exciting looking vehicle sequences. All these sorts of things that have been just turned up to 11, basically. Mm-hmm. But the thing that has caught my attention most is, well, it's 2 things really. In the latest trailer, they detail a returning feature. So as you know, the original Lego games had that kind of mumble. You know, it wasn't voiced. It was all
like a Lego mumble.
Like a Lego mumble.
Exactly what noises would make.
The new game is fully voiced. However, there is something that you can unlock and turn on, mumble mode, which is for classic purists of Lego games. You can have mumble mode return where all the characters kind of talk like that. But they also have a weapon sound effects mode where all the weapon sound effects are replaced from what they sound like in the movies with the voices of people doing those sound effects.
No way.
So what that means is that blasters no longer have that, that classic blaster sound, and instead sound like people going pew 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 pew. And lightsabers are now people going wow.
That is a really good idea.
So we've only got about another month or so to wait for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga. So for me, that is probably the thing that I'm looking forward to most in the next month or so.
Okay.
What about you? Anything?
There is the new
something big coming up for you.
Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, which I think has got quite mixed reviews from people who are into it. I'm into anything that they can give me, to be quite honest with you. And I think that's out in March. I want to say like the 18th of March.
Yeah, it's coming out basically on my birthday.
Just before your birthday. Sorry about that.
So I won't be seeing Hollie for the week of my birthday.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I did play the demos that they put out. They're quite hard. For me, it's more of like
I've played through both of those as well.
Yeah,
and I think that they're fine. They're good. You know?
I really enjoyed it. I think because it's a Final Fantasy, and in the whole universe of Final Fantasy, everyone just wants remake part 2. Or I think they rumoured Final Fantasy 9 remake is in the works somehow. So that's all people want to know. So when they came out with this one, I think people were like, "Why are you working on that?" I think that's why I got so much hate. But actually, I loved it. I loved all the job classes that you could change who you want to be. So I'm really excited.
And this is a prequel to all of Final Fantasy.
This is based on Final Fantasy 1, like the original Final Fantasy, from what I understand, like the origin of it. But I think a lot of people said it's sort of Dark Souls-esque in that it's going to be quite a trial. Like some of the battles, they're going to deliberately make them really hard. So you will probably really enjoy it. And I will probably get halfway through and go, you know what? I'm okay.
Where's easy mode?
Where is easy mode is what I'll be asking. So I am excited. I'm not overly keen on the characters. I think they feel a bit bland, if I'm honest. But I'm sure they'll develop, hopefully.
I mean, we've seen a few trailers and we've played a tiny portion
of
it, which I think
played it, but I have avoided the trailers. So I kind of know the world, but I don't know anything past the trial demo that we got. Because I usually, it's kind of, they play a bit and go, yeah, I'm invested. No, I want a media blackout on that. I don't want to know anymore. So I can't really say a lot more until it's out, but I am excited. And the other thing I'm excited for is on the Switch is Chocobo GP.
Ooh, amazing.
Which is basically like Mario Kart, but Chocobos. I think it was on the DS originally.
It's, as in, like, there's not carts, it's chocobos.
I think they're driving.
Or is it oh my god.
I think, I can't, I haven't really looked into it. I just know it's coming out and I've pre-ordered it because I'm sure it used to be on the DS. But again, anything Final Fantasy, I'll just pre-order it. You can just sell it to me and I'll have it.
Just shut up and take my money.
Exactly. That meme. Take my money. So I have pre-ordered that, but haven't got a lot to say until it comes out, and that is on the 10th of March.
Fantastic.
March is busy.
I mean, there's obviously that other big game on the Switch coming out next month, which is Kirby.
Yes, you liked the look of that. Yeah, when we watched
I remember playing Kirby, 25 years ago.
I love that he just swallows the whole bus or something.
I think mouthful mode.
Yes.
Yeah. Where Kirby is now able to...
Or a vending machine, or he just turns into everything.
Yes.
Is that out next month, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise
so
that.
I think it's the 25th. So it will definitely be happening in our household.
It's a busy month.
So that'll be one that I'll be watching, not playing. So yeah, my other half should be enjoying Kirby.
Yeah,
but I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I think that it looks wonderful. Like it's nice to have a game like that is those classic sort of mascot platform adventure games.
With a little bit of nostalgia, something new and funny. Yeah, definitely. They're always a win.
Yeah, and I want a game where I can eat a car.
That was exactly what you said. Like, as soon as they showed that, you're like, oh my God, I'm sold. Like, that's it. Yeah, don't show me anymore.
Talking about cars, Gran Turismo.
Next week.
Next week, yeah.
7th?
Yeah, beginning of March.
Yeah.
It's probably a game which I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I love cars, always been into cars. I love Forza Horizon series and stuff. I like those games because they're like kind of fun, over the top, even though they're like good racing games, that it is over the top racing games, as in like, let's see how far we can jump this car off of the cliff, which I absolutely love. And obviously Gran Turismo
in the game.
Not in real life.
And obviously Gran Turismo being a driving simulator, I hope that I still have the enjoyment of playing it. Even though it's going to look incredible, it's car porn, basically.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's going to be.
So this is coming to PS4 and PS5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be incredible. I just hope that I assume it is going to be, an incredible racing game. I hope it just doesn't lose the fun value because I've played so many hours of Forza. Obviously, because it's been so many years since we've had a Gran Turismo.
Yes.
We had the previous one to play it in VR.
Yes.
I don't know if they've announced that this is going to be in VR.
I don't know, to be honest.
They've not announced anything, but obviously with the new PlayStation VR coming out this year at some point, I hope that type of game will then be brought into it, because to be actually sat in these incredibly gorgeous cars in VR,
it makes a difference.
It's going to be incredible. Yeah. Like, it was really cool on the original PlayStation VR. But to take it to that next level, because it is next gen, with a next gen VR as well, to be immersed in that world as an actual simulator, that it's going to be like you're there yourself in those cars.
And I think having the VR makes a difference. Like, because like you say, Forza is fun, but if you then go to a simulator, it's like a different mindset. Like, okay, I'm driving this car properly now, and then with a headset on as well, that makes it a completely different experience.
With what's it called, 360 audio,
spatial audio. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of driving simulators, just because I'm not really a fan of driving. So the more realistic, I'm not really into it. But then as soon as you put that headset on, it's like, actually, this is like a next level, and I enjoy it again. Yeah. But I wouldn't play Gran Turismo just normally, but put me in VR and I'll be there.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about us three being, together doing this type of conversation, is that we are all into kind of different aspects of gaming and TV and in film, that we will have our own kind of likes and dislikes. Yes. That we don't just all agree on the same thing.
Exactly.
I think that would almost be a bit of a boring conversation, and we don't all hate the same thing. Like, things which I really like, we're might not like.
Varied,
yeah. So having those things means in the future, and the longer we do these podcasts, is we're always going to have a difference in opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think as well, it'll also enable us to provide content that is varied. Yes. So it's not like, welcome to the Final Fantasy channel.
Which I would love it to be, but I understand that not everyone appreciates that.
But it gives us a breadth of material that we can actually enjoy, and we can sort of expose to each other as well, and say that actually you might really like this TV show.
Yeah, it will enlighten each other on to things what we might not necessarily go in and watch or play, or something that...
But not just ourselves, obviously.
Everyone else. Everyone else as well. So hopefully it enlightens other people. And that's a good little segue. The channel what this podcast is going to be put on, or the video podcast is going to be going up on, is we just started this channel because we want to make as much content as we kind of can as well. So we want to do gameplay stuff. We want to do, even if we go to EGX or go to Comic-Con or something, we're thinking that there's potential videos or vlogs we can do from there.
We don't even know the limit yet. We're still brainstorming of all the possibilities.
That's why we didn't want to niche it down too much to just this one type of content or just podcasts or, you know, just gaming or something, that is everything and anything within this world of basically pop culture, entertainment and things.
We've got a lot of ideas and there's so many things we can do with it.
Yeah, so it would be great if you are listening right now and you've made it all the way through this podcast.
Or watching.
Let us know in the comments or message us on socials or whatever if you've got anything that you think we should check out in the next coming weeks, any games or TV shows that you are into. It'd just be great to have like these conversations and prolong it up.
Join in, make a bit of a community about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
I mean, if you guys got anything else you want to bring up today or chat about?
I think the only thing that we've got left to do is actually a little trivia for you two. You weren't looking forward to it. I knew you were.
No.
So basically, at the end of each one of these podcasts, we want to do some form of like
it's going to be a very straightforward, multiple choice question that listeners, viewers, you can play along with as well. But we're going to keep a tally. I'm going to ask the questions. I ask the questions here.
Theo is the question master.
Okay.
You're like the guy on Cuphead with the...
I'm King Dice.
There you go.
I'm King Dice, yeah.
So who's the devil? You?
Theo's both because you went red.
Yes, it's me. I'm the devil and King Dice.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to keep a little tally going forward across the year, and then at the end of the year, we can have a little award ceremony for whoever wins. So I'll have to get a little popcorn and joysticks trophy made up. But yeah, of course, you can join in at home as well. So the question for today is, I don't think either of you are going to know this off the top of your head. We've been talking about films and games and the synergy between films and games. So, can you tell me in which year was the Super Mario Brothers film released? Was it 1991?
Oh, gosh.
1992? 1993? Or 1994? This is the original Super Mario Brothers film. This isn't...
So basically, it's just going to be, for me, complete guesswork.
92.
Final answer? You're going 92?
Final answer.
Can I ask a friend?
If they're within this room and they're within your head, then you can ask as many friends as you want.
Wait, what year was
How many friends do you have?
91, 2, 3, or 4.
Yes.
You have to pick one.
You have to pick one. You can't say all of them. It came out at this,
It came out when? So if you got 92.
92.
I literally have no idea. So yeah, it's going to be complete guesswork. Are we doing closest to?
You're going to have to pick one of these.
1991.
I can reveal that the answer is 1993.
I was going to do 3.
So for this week, there's no scores on the board. We have a tie for this week. So we'll find out next week.
What's the what happens if we both get to the end of the year and still have 0?
I think then I win.
Is that going to be you get the trophy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to happen.
Theo's trivia questions are just
too difficult for us.
Yeah, it's just going to be chance if we get them right.
I like to go for
that
things
challenge,
that you
actually.
could guess. So, there's an element of chance in there, and I think you'll probably get at least one over the course of the year.
If we don't, you get the trophy, okay.
And if not, I'll find space at home for the trophy.
Amazing.
So I think that's actually it for today. So
I think it is. I don't even know how long we've been running for.
No, I don't know, but I think that's really good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoyed this. If you have, please rate it, comment it, like it.
All those things.
Subscribe, all the things. And actually, where can we find you, James, outside of JHT?
So, yes, if you don't know, Barbster360 is who I am on Instagram and on Twitter. You can find me on there, or YouTube channel Barbster360.
They'll all be at the bottom of the screen if you're watching the video.
Will they?
Hopefully.
We will put them up. Holly, where can people find you?
On Twitter, I am @_H².
Okay, brilliant. And of course, my name is Theo, and you can find me on Twitter at @TL_gaming. And from us here at Popcorn and Joysticks, we're out.